name of the band is Dogface.
Dogface, huh?
Dogface. Rule the Night.
I like that kind of. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of, what'd that sound like to you?
A little progressive, maybe Dream Theater-ish, sort of, but like
I was thinking it sounded kind of Deep Purple-ish.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like progressive, but it's rock.
Yeah, it had that B3 keyboard thing going on there, kind of very Deep Purple-ish.
Sure. Yeah, not bad. I liked it.
Yeah, I think Jackal in the chat room may have a thought on that.
Okay.
So,
yeah, like, it's new. It's not from 1972. It sucks.
Yeah, but tell me if he thinks it has a Deep Purple-ish sound.
Yeah. What do you think, Jackal? Were you listening?
Yeah.
Or were you busy pounding your pud to Judas Priest?
Yeah, Judas Priest.
Listen to some Firepower while we were playing other songs.
Yeah, I'm still digging the Firepower, though.
Yeah, I love that record.
That's a very, very strong record.
Mm-hmm.
Very
good
pleased.
Stuff.
Very pleased with that.
Yep, good. It's very good. No matter what people want to say, I still think it sounds like a classic Judas Priest record. I don't care if that upsets what's his name, Timothy Edward in our fucking group.
Well, I completely second that.
You know, you're just gonna have to disagree with me, pal, because that's what I think. It doesn't sound like anything at all like Sad Wings of Destiny, man. That's the classic sound.
I would say that's the early sound.
No, they say that's the classic sound. They sold out on all the records you like. Defenders of the Faith, and Screaming for Vengeance. That's when they started turning into a pussy band.
Uh-huh.
And Painkiller's just modern metal, man. It's just modern. They sucked at that part. Sucked. Okay, whatever. Classic to me is about 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, in that range. That British Steel to like Screaming for Vengeance, that to me is the classic era of Judas Priest.
Yeah, I would say that the Sad Wings of Destiny or Rock-a-Rolla, that's the early Priest.
Yeah, that's one timeline for them, but it's not the timeline for them.
Right.
The bulk of their success came in there from British Steel through Screaming for Vengeance. And that's when I jumped on, was in that time. So for me, that's classic. For him, maybe not so much, but whatever. Yeah. I don't care.
It's all subjective, pal.
Of course, pal.
Yeah.
He's right, we're wrong.
All right. Well, a guy who is known to be outspoken about various topics, anywhere from music to money-making to politics to, you name it, would be the one and only Gene Simmons.
Yes, he is.
Gene Simmons, he is a well-known teetotaler.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do nothing.
Doesn't do drugs of any kind.
Ooh.
Well, apparently he's changed his mind on his thoughts on marijuana use.
What? Really?
He has.
So now he's for it?
Well, let's find out.
All right.
Gene Simmons, a notorious stickler for anything drug-related, says that he has relaxed his stance for pot users.
Wow. Wow. And in a related story, he's going to be selling the vault at all California marijuana stations.
Exactly. The Kiss bassist vocalist, who has always promoted clean living and scoffed at peers who snort drugs and get high, made headlines last week when he landed an odd new gig as chief evangelist officer at a Canadian cannabis and fertilizer company.
Come on, this is bullshit.
Oh, okay.
That's a real story?
Yes.
Come on. Get you. Well, I can. You know what? Knowing Gene, it's only a matter of time before we see like Kiss rolling papers. Don't you think?
Maybe, or a Kiss blend of marijuana.
Oh, of course. 4 Kiss blends. You can get the Star Child pot or the Demon pot. or the cat pot, or what's the other one? Star Child, cat, demon. What's the fourth one?
Well, what is Ace? He's the space ace?
Spaceman?
Spaceman?
Yeah, Spaceman. Maybe you can get Ankh pot. Limited supply.
Right.
Could be good.
Well, the name of the company is called Invictus. Invictus. Invictus.
Okay.
That's the name of the company that he is now the chief evangelist officer for.
Well, I'm stunned by this.
Mm-hmm. For those confused about his new relationship, given the fact that Simmons has been on record about never trying cannabis in his whole life, he has a perfectly simple explanation.
Which is?
I was wrong and I was not informed.
Get the fuck out of here. Gene Simmons said that?
That's what he said.
He said he was wrong.
That's what he said.
Wow, they must have paid him a fucking assload of money.
Right.
How much money do you think it would cost to get Gene Simmons to say that and endorse your drug company?
Well, it costs $50,000 for you to get Gene to come to your house and deliver at the vault.
8 figures?
It's got to be some pretty hefty cash.
I gotta think $10 million.
You think so?
I cannot fathom that after all, I mean, he's been saying say no to drugs and booze and everything for 40 fucking years. I've got to think no less than $5 million, and I got to think $10 million. I am not believing for one single second that he just changed his mind.
Yeah, everybody has a price.
Yeah, well, and Gene that's all Gene knows is having a price.
Exactly.
Not saying that he didn't figure out that cannabis is not really this crazy detrimental drug, but my God, for him to say in public, I'm wrong? No way. That had to come with a big price tag on it. Wow.
Well, drug abuse, you don't have to be a genius to know that's wrong. And alcohol abuse, everybody knows that's wrong. But I've been dismissive of cannabis, and I don't know much about it. I just dismissed it out of hand.
Okay.
I have to man up and admit that in the past I used to dismiss lots of things because of ignorance and arrogance, he explained. About 3 years ago, when I did my own research, I found out astonishingly new information that doctors and researchers were talking about in regards to cannabis.
Yeah.
Simmons, who will serve as Invictus media spokesperson among other duties, disclosed that he has $10 million in stock in the company
that he didn't pay a penny for.
Right. And said that he was glad to do it. Respectfully, I'm not as much of a celebrity as a businessman because you can't find somebody like me. I have a restaurant chain, also some other businesses, but have nothing to do with playing a guitar.
Who said that?
He says he has other businesses that have nothing to do with playing a guitar.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Dan Krisnick, CEO and chairman of Invictus, credited Gene's business acumen for the appointment. According to Krisnick, Simmons created one of the most iconic bands of all time, but he has spent decades building successful brands internationally in various industries.
Right.
As part of his deal with Invictus, Simmons has agreed to appear at least 50 investor industry presentations for the company over a 5-year period.
Oh.
Well, he's
going for $10 million. $2 million a year. $2 million a year to show up. Fucking what? Once every 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'm Gene Simmons, and I'm from Invictus.
Yeah. Dude, you know damn well there's going to be product.
Of course,
there's going to be Kiss product.
Of course, there is.
I can just imagine now seeing my pothead friends smoking their fucking pot out of a demon bowl or something.
Yeah. A Gene Simmons head.
Yeah, can't you see that with packing their weed into a, Paul Stanley fucking bong?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gene just sees the money. You know what it is? It's legal in some places. So he's like, I got to get in on that. That makes sense for Gene, actually, when you think about it. You know, he's not going to let something that he could capitalize. He knows his fans are a bunch of fucking stoned out hippies. You know, why wouldn't he fucking get in on the marijuana when it's legal? Good for him.
Yeah, just stick that in your smipe and poke it.
Yeah.
In 2016, Team Rock featured Simmons, where he said he was not against marijuana for pain relief, but on Planet Gene, drugs would be banned. Not because I don't want you to get high, because that would be your prerogative, but you become an addict, and getting a fix is all that matters to you, and you are a parasite on society, he explained.
Wow.
Let's create those gulags way up in the cold north someplace where drug addicts can, how's he say it? Let's create those gulags way up in the cold north someplace where drug addicts who can't get clean are sent.
Wow.
If you freeze your ass off, you'll get straight very fast. The idea of social rehabilitation is nonsense. These people live among us, and they're like vampires. They'll do anything for a fix.
He's right about that.
Well, you know, not to get preachy about this kind of stuff, but, you know, I've had, and I'm sure you have, had discussions with people about, man, they should just legalize all drugs. They should just legalize it. And my thought on that has always been, okay, well, that's all well and fine. But, and much like Gene, once you become an addict,
right,
and you become useless, or you become paralyzed, or you become, you know, incapacitated due to your drug use, what do we do with you now?
Yeah.
That nobody ever has the answer to that question.
Well, it's because they don't see that happening to themselves.
Yeah, but what do you do with them now? You're so drug-addled that you can't serve a function in society. So what are we going to do with you now?
Yeah, and now with McDonald's automating their cashier lines, there's not even work for them.
Well, again, but are the taxpayers supposed to just pay for your upkeep now that you're a burned-out drug addict?
Of course, dude. Look, you're supposed to be able to rely on the government to take care of you. Don't you know that?
Well, I agree with the libertarian view that, you know, you can do whatever you want to yourself as long as you don't hurt anybody else and whatever. And, okay, so we'll legalize drugs. Go ahead, you know, burn yourself out. But once you're done, I think we just got to kick you to the curb.
Yeah, just kill you.
More or less. I mean, what's the point in keeping you around?
Because you get better.
Sure.
You get clean. You know how many fucking meth guys get clean?
Yeah, sure they will. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Damn, son, I was about to hang up.
It's our friend from down there in Kentucky. What's happening in Kentucky?
Not a whole lot, man. I was just going to say the reason Gene Simmons got all that stock, because he tried it. He tried it, and he said, you know what? That's why everybody likes this shit. And now he's just sitting there smoking it right now, just thinking about all the money he's going to make off of it.
Yeah, of course. I don't think Gene sampled the product. I just think that he looked at it. It's like, man, this thing's profitable. I got to get in on, just like what Chris just said.
Yeah, that could be that way. I'm just going to say he took a puff or two, and he's like, you know, it ain't too bad.
I don't think Gene needs to do that, but
Gene.
Obviously not.
But you smoking the wacky backy down there in Kentucky?
Sure. Well, I do every Saturday night and listen to you guys.
Really? No, seriously, is that what you do? Do you really blaze up and listen to us?
Hell yeah. That's the ritual, man.
All right. Well, how about the school teacher? You still involved with her?
Yes, sir.
And she doesn't mind you blazing up on a Saturday and listening to our filth?
Nah, she might as well not, because I do anyway.
Well, does she hang around on a Saturday, or does she get disgusted and leave and say, just listen to those two morons and go ahead, smoke your brains out?
Well, it's happened before, Neely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, I was just gonna ask this real quick, and I'll hang up. But I was just gonna see if you guys were going to any big concerts this year. Not to change the subject or anything, but
well, the only big thing I have on the slate currently is the Melodic Rock Fest,
okay.
May 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Home Bar in Arlington Heights. And I will be seeing Dokken on April 20th in Joliet, Illinois. That's the only thing I got on my slate at the moment.
And I am going I'm going to obviously Melodic Rock Fest. I'm going to see the Slayer, Testament, Anthrax, Behemoth, Lamb of God show.
Oh,
June 7th. I'm going to see, keeping in line with that show, I'm going to see Air Supply. April 15th, I believe, is the date of that one. What is the other one I'm going to? I'm going to something else. Foreigner and what is it? Foreigner and Jason Bonham and Whitesnake.
Whitesnake.
Yeah, that's the other
one. That's
one.
pretty good. Yeah, Foreigner would be good. Like, honestly, I don't care. I don't care if Foreigner's a cover band or not. I like them. I think they're excellent.
Because they're hot-blooded, man.
Yeah, check it to see.
Cold as ice. That's what they are.
So you better get your tickets because it's a pretty urgent affair.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to see Def Leppard and Journey in July. July, what day is it? Shit, I don't know.
All right.
July 11th.
I think your pot dealer's calling.
I was looking on my calendar there. I had it circled. It's July 11th, but
and
March
where are they playing? At
19th,
Riverbend in Cincinnati or something?
Yeah, they are, but I decided not to go to it. I decided to go to Metallica in Louisville. It's a year from now, but I'll wait patiently.
Yeah, because you got to spend enough money to fucking where you can't go to two. And what are those the Metallica tickets here? And I don't know if it's the same in Louisville. It probably is. They had one row of tickets, the very top row, all the way around the venue, that were $75 tickets, and then every other ticket in the place was $145 a ticket.
Shit, it's higher than that.
It's fucking ridiculous. I passed. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going. Plus, it is a year away. The show here is February 1st of 2019.
Okay. You know, Chris, if I would have been to see them as many times as you have, I would probably say the same thing. But since I've never actually seen them live, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It may be my last chance, and I just went for it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, they're still good live, but... And, I mean, from the videos and stuff I've seen on YouTube and whatnot, they look like they still kill it live, but, man, that's a lot of money.
They still bring it, you know. I mean, obviously nobody is what they were 30 years ago, but, you know, they still bring it. They do the best they can do.
Yeah, but I'm imagining you're taking your chick with you to that?
The Metallica? Fuck no.
Are you taking somebody, or did you buy one ticket?
I bought one ticket. I'm going in the fucking pit alone.
Oh, nice. So what were the pit tickets?
I'm winging it, man. I have no idea what's going to happen.
How much were the pit tickets? $250?
$250.
Yeah, $250 for that. $50 to park.
Right.
$100 for drinks.
Dear God. Hotel room.
Yeah, that's a $500 night, my friend.
Yeah.
Whew. Fuck it.
That's about a day's pay for
going
me.
in all the way, man. Getting in the snake pit.
That teacher better get a raise.
For real, man, and better get her pension. Get all that stuff. About to lose all that. Our governor's an idiot. He voted against teacher pensions, and they're all out protesting in the streets now. So,
are they carrying guns?
Some of them.
Well, it can't be all bad.
Straight. You're in Kentucky, man. Listen, in Kentucky, there's a rifle behind every blade of grass. We don't play. You know how it is. But All right, guys. I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing.
All right.
I'll flame out here.
All right, hail and kill.
All right, hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Good job.
Didn't want to flame out. That motherfucker was more on fire than me in fucking 94.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Oh, boy. Anyway.
So anyway, Gene Simmons, all about the pot now.
Oh, good for him. I somehow don't think he's all about the pot as much as he's all about that $10 million in stock that he's inherited. Dude, it's got to be great to be in that kind of a place. Every time you turn around, people are throwing that kind of money at you. What do you think he does with his money? Seriously.
Well, see, that's interesting that you would say that, because that's actually something I was going to say is, do you think he actually enjoys it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they don't tour a ton anymore, and he's got to be doing something. And he looks like he's pretty healthy. And, you know, he seems like he's been having fun being out there doing like the Gene Simmons solo shows here and there. But I don't know. He doesn't strike me as like a guy that's having an overly fun time.
Yeah.
I mean, you met him recently. Did he seem like he was in a good place? Or?
Well, I mean, you know, the guy is just very dry, extremely dry.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I met him, I mean, he was nice to me. I mean, because, you know, I was with Don, and Don is a neighbor. I mean, they live like a block away from each other.
Sure.
And it's hard to say, man. I think that he enjoys making money, but I don't know if he actually enjoys the money.
Yeah, because you don't hear about him like, you don't hear like the Jay Leno story about him having like 400 cars or something. You know, you don't hear about him having anything or buying anything crazy, or, you know, like buying his own jet or shit like that. You know, you just don't hear about Gene. You never hear about him even buying like a big house or something.
Well, he does live up in Beverly Hills.
Well, I'm sure back in 1979 or 80 when he made his first millions, when he bought that house, though. Don't you think?
Probably.
I mean, he's lived out there forever, so I can't imagine he's been bouncing houses. That's not a sound financial move, and that doesn't sound at all like Gene. So I would imagine whatever house he's in now, he probably bought in a fucking clearance lot. You know, for everybody else, it would have been $10 million, but he got it on a foreclosure from a drug lord for $150,000, knowing him. But no, I just wonder what he has. I would love to. I mean, even when they showed that show, which was allegedly shot in his house, I mean, it looked like a cool house, but it didn't look like it was like the greatest thing in the world. Did it to you?
Extravagant, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't like ridiculous cool. It was just cool. I've seen guys that have made a lot less money living better than Gene.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I would hope at this point, as much as I'm not a big Kiss fan, can't deny the accomplishments, especially of that guy.
Yeah.
That guy has made, he's probably made over $1 billion, don't you think?
Well, I know that, yeah, I'm sure he's made that, because I think his net worth is like $500 million at this point. Like it's like 500 million or something.
Sure. So, I mean, he's certainly not hoping he makes enough money to make his next meal, but, you know, you just wonder. And maybe he's just a private guy, because you really don't hear anything about him outside of professional life. You know, that's amazing to me, is that he has been able, he's been a celebrity my whole life, pretty much. And I don't really remember ever hearing of anything. Him on a vacation, him, you know, getting photographed by TMZ coming out of some restaurant or something. Nothing. Do you? I mean, have you ever heard of anything with him?
The only thing I recall where Gene Simmons is concerned, as far as being in, I don't know if you want to even call it the tabloids or not, was way back in probably the late 70s when he was running around with Cher.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's about the only time I remember any kind of, you know, mention of Gene outside of Kiss.
Yeah, and I mean, everything else that he's done, as far as I'm aware of, has always been, you know, public eye type stuff. when he was sort of out of Kiss, when he was doing movies and stuff like that. I mean, it's still professional stuff. You didn't hear about him, doing coke off a stripper's ass, at a party or anything. I mean, he's really been able to maintain the private life, even though he's been a megastar for 40, 50 years. Well, more power to him, I guess. But to answer your question, I can't imagine that he is enjoying it fully because he's always still working.
Yeah.
Why is he still working as hard as he is?
Maybe that's just what he does, I guess.
Yeah. Man, at this point, retire, enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, being that Don lives up in Beverly Hills, he's like, yeah, next time you come out here, he says, let's go down to the Starbucks and we'll go bother Gene. Because apparently Gene goes down to the Starbucks in the area.
Okay.
And he basically sits at a table in the back.
All right.
With his back toward like the door or something. And he just kind of sits there reading his newspaper and, drinks his coffee and searches the internet or something.
It's amazing to me that he hasn't put a Kiss coffee house there instead of a Starbucks near his own house.
Yeah. He said he sits there with like a ball cap on and his glasses, kind of trying to act all incognito.
Right.
And just sits at the Starbucks.
And probably gets fucked with every day.
And no, he says nobody bothers the guy. He said he just sits back there and kind of minds his own business. And, people who frequent the place know he's there.
Sure.
But they don't go there and say, hey, bother the guy.
Right.
They just, hey, Gene, what's up?
No. Well, and I guess these guys got to be somewhere. They're not all driven by chauffeurs all the time. So, hey, I don't know what Gene's doing, but good on him. I mean, $500 million in the bank and fucking, the trophy wife, and he's banged a lot of really hot chicks, and and really not had to give any of it up. He hasn't had to give it away to bad divorces or anything. So good on him. And I'm glad he got his $10 million from the fucking pot people. Good on him.
The pot people.
Well, I don't know. Am I ever going to remember Invictus? No, but I'm always going to remember that Gene Simmons is dealing pot now.
Exactly.
Good on him. Me and him have something in common. We both were pot dealers. Maybe on a different level, but